It was a group decision to put on Death of a Salesman this year, and Death of a Salesman does not get done by other high schools. Very, very few will attempt a work of this nature because it's studied in literature classes, because it is a work of extreme reflection and thematic importance, and a timepiece in American history, and a story about a family and a relationship between a father and a son and a daughter and a mother, and is complex and is beautiful, and is a very challenging work for the actor and the technician to put on a play of this scale and magnitude in a high school setting.
So instead of just playing upon Death of a Salesman, which is the way Arthur Miller intended for his play to be written, we are actually putting a spin on it and doing opposite gender casts.
And nobody's ever done this before, where we are taking Death of a Salesman and modifying it. So you're going to get the opportunity to see two shows. One of them will be Death of a Salesman, exactly how Arthur Miller intended, with the exact casting and dialogue. And then we flip it. So it will also be Death of a Saleswoman. So where there was once a story about Willie and his two sons, it is now a story about Willie, the woman, and her two daughters, and her stay-at-home husband, and all the conflicts and story that revolves around them.
My original character was Linda Lohman, who is now a stay-at-home husband of the main character, Willie Lohman, who is now a woman. Linda Lohman, who is the original character, is written very much as a stereotypical 50s-era wife, who's very supportive of her husband, doesn't have much of an independent identity. So a lot of it I've had to develop on my own to create Leonard Lohman, to create a lot of an underlying psyche of him. And because he's not an incredibly active character, it takes him a while before he is willing to take action and voice his opinions. It's definitely a different framing of typical masculinity, and that he's a more of a supportive character, but he still has drive and, an actual identity, one that wouldn't necessarily be found in Linda Lohman in the original text.
For those who get to see both shows, it's an interesting study in acting and the craft of acting, because you've got two great actors playing the same role. You've got Rocco Polanco, who's playing Willie, who embodies the strength of Willie, the drive of Willie, and also the sudden shift into he's losing his mind, and he's starting to see hallucinations, and he's losing composure in his life, and is falling apart essentially at the seams, both within his family and within his career. But now you juxtapose his performance with that of Grace Miller, who has a different sentimentality to her. There's a certain emotional depth, there's a certain broken bird quality with Grace's performance that is different than Rocco's. Neither one is right or wrong. It's just this beautiful glimpse into what is acting. And so you have this opportunity to take these young actors who are really good, and they're given the exact same character and the exact same text, and their approach to that text sets up this glimpse into the acting craft that I can't think of another opportunity to see in this fashion.
Thus far, my favorite part of the rehearsal process has been getting closer with my castmates, and we've created a really special bond. We all click really well, and as an actress, that makes it so much easier to get your job done on stage.
We do 2 plays a year, and they're massive and they're award-winning, and LCC Theater is a proud staple of this school. We're making a work of art, and for those who get to see this, I think you will be moved. You will think, and you will laugh, and you'll be entertained, and you will be struck. You don't want to miss those opportunities. I mean, the high school comes and goes so fast, and these opportunities to support your friends in something they care about comes and goes within 2 weeks. There's a million reasons to go, and one of them being is just don't let the opportunity slip past you. You'll regret having not seen it, because the discussions that stir from a work of this nature are going to be provocative. I don't want to tell you too much, but when you come to see it, it's beautiful. It's going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous show. It's going to be a work of art.